So let's talk about a dog that's a certified genius, but one that absolutely refuses to listen. The Czechoslovakian Wolfdog has a kind of intelligence that might just completely flip how you think about man's best friend.
All right, just picture this for a second. You've got a dog that's smart enough to figure out how to open your refrigerator, raid the pantry, and, maybe even let itself out the back gate. But when you ask it to do something super simple, like sit for maybe the 10th time, it just gives you this look and walks away. This is the whole puzzle of the Czechoslovakian Wolfdog.
So what's going on here? Is this just pure stubbornness, or is there something much, much more interesting happening inside that head? Let's figure it out.
Okay, to even begin to get this breed, you've got to just toss out all your typical ideas about dog obedience. Seriously, this isn't about a dog that lives to please you and hangs on your every command. Nope, it's like this dog is running on a completely different operating system. Let's start by trying to see the world through its eyes. This dog isn't just sitting around waiting for you to tell it what to do. It's an analyst. It's constantly watching, learning, and figuring things out all on its own.
One of the most amazing, almost unbelievable traits of the Wolfdog is how it learns just by watching. I mean, no training, no commands, not even treats. It'll just observe a person or maybe another animal, do something, process it, and then it just does it too.
And get this, look at the kind of skills they pick up. We're not talking about cute tricks. We're talking about real-world, practical problem solving. Owners will tell you their dogs taught themselves to open doors, windows, and even ring the doorbell when they want to come back inside. It sees the problem, and it just engineers its own solution. It's wild.
And with genius, there's always a but, right? Here's the flip side of that brilliant mind. A Wolfdog gets a new command almost instantly. The very first time you show it, boom, it's got it. The second time, it's already getting a little bored. By the third or fourth time, you've completely lost it. In its mind, the task is solved. Why on earth would we keep doing it?
And that right there brings us to the absolute core of this whole thing. We are about to unlock the one concept that explains everything about its so-called disobedience. The secret isn't a command, it's a question. The term is purpose-driven action, and this is your big aha moment. A wolfdog doesn't just do things because you said so, it does things for a reason. It is constantly, and I mean constantly, asking, why? What's the point of this? What's in it for me? A simple pat on the head is not going to cut it. It needs to see a real purpose or a tangible reward for its effort. So what does that actually look like in day-to-day life? Well, it means the dog will flat out refuse to do the same boring thing over and over again. It might even find its own shortcut to a problem, one that's way more efficient than what you tried to teach it. And yes, it will absolutely question and very often ignore any command that it decides is completely pointless. Living with an animal this intelligent totally changes the game. You're not a master barking orders to a subordinate. You're a leader, trying to build a partnership with an intellectual equal.
There's this brilliant quote from owners that just nails it perfectly. They say that after a few months, you realize your dog isn't stupid for not listening, it's actually incredibly cunning and resourceful. It's always testing you, always seeing what it can get away with, and always figuring out new ways to get what it wants.
Now, to really get the difference, let's compare it to another really smart breed, the German Shepherd. A shepherd is all about pleasing its owner. It thrives on repetition, it loves the work. The Wolfdog? It's motivated by purpose. See, neither one is smarter. They just have fundamentally different ideas of what work even means. So, the most important takeaway here is this. You cannot command a wolfdog's loyalty. You have to earn it. The whole relationship has to be built on mutual respect, a fair partnership. The dog has to see you as a competent leader it can actually trust, not just some boss.
Okay, so if you can't just command it into submission, how in the world do you train an animal this clever? Let's get into the strategy.
Success really boils down to three key things. First, you have to be creative to keep that big brain of theirs engaged. Second, you need some powerful motivation. And for a wolfdog, that almost always means food. Seriously, their love for a good snack will often override their stubbornness. And third, and this is the most important part, you have to constantly be one step ahead. You literally have to outsmart your dog.
Ultimately, this is just not the right dog for someone who wants a simple pet that will listen without question. This is a partner for someone who truly enjoys a mental challenge, who appreciates an intellectual equal, and who's willing to build a relationship based on way more than just blind obedience.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on.
We so often measure an animal's intelligence by how well it follows our commands. But the Czechoslovakian Wolfdog just blows that whole idea up. It forces us to ask, does true intelligence always have to be obedient, or can it be independent, critical, and maybe even a little bit rebellious?